If you're doing your trailer walk around and your tires look like this, instead of this, you may have a problem. Your trailer may be eating the tires, but it's okay. We can figure it out. We can diagnose it and get you back on the road. If you're having an issue with your axle alignment, your trailer tires, bearings, balance, whatever, you're likely going to have some wear. If you have any mileage on that, you can look at that wear to help determine what the cause is to make your corrections. Many times we have trailers come in that they think maybe it's out of alignment. For the most part, a lot of trailers cannot be aligned. It's not like taking your automobile in where they can put it on a machine, do a camber in, camber out, toe in, toe out, all those things. It doesn't work like that on most trailers. Now, some of your larger trailers do have axles, whether they're using like a hutch style suspension, or maybe they have an adjustable spring seat on there that you can fix it left to right to keep the axle from tracking and the trailer from tracking or crab walking, so you can fix it that way. We're going to talk about some other scenarios that can actually cause the axle to be out of a line, but many times it's something maybe more serious or more of a repair than just an axle alignment. So if you're having tire wear, just don't take it in thinking you can get alignment. You may need to do some maintenance, or you may have a major repair going on. So let's look at a couple different types of common wear, and then we'll talk about some other ones just to help you better diagnose your tires when you're doing your walk around. So this tire here, I know it looks very bad and maybe extreme, but this is a common wear issue. A couple of things causes this. Usually it is a bent axle. We're going to show you an example on the trailer that we have this tire setting on. I picked this tire specifically because it's got a couple of things going on with it was the cause of this. So a bent axle would cause this type of wear, but in this scenario, it wasn't a bent axle. This is actually on a tandem dual. It lost an outer bearing, and it went for a long time with the outer bearing being out, so it caused the tire to lean, and it caused it to wear like this. It also has some cupping. I'm gonna see if we can get that. I don't know if we can get it in the camera or not, but cupping it's like some divots in there. It's not equal. It's got, a tire here, it's low, high. And that is also something that's very common. It won't be, usually cupping, it won't have this much extreme wear. If we'll take this good tire here, cupping, you're gonna have some spots, like you're gonna have a worn spot in the tread, then you may have another one here, and another one here, and another one there. And it likely will be all the way around the tire. That indicates a couple of possibilities that could be going on. It could just be a tire that's out of balance. I know we've covered that. If we can get controversial with tires again. Do you balance trailer tires or not? I'm a big advocate for balancing your trailer tires, even if they're small tires. If you don't want to balance your tires, that's fine. You do you. I'll do me. But an unbalanced tire can cause cupping. That's going to give you a rough ride. It's going to be bouncy. Another issue that causes cupping that a lot of people I don't think they think about, a bearing going out, or maybe your bearing is loose, it's out of adjustment. That can cause the tire to begin to bounce and wear the tire out, and eventually it's just the bearing is going to eat itself. Just as the unbalanced tire can cause damage to the bearing. That unbalanced tire, if that was your issue, is going to cause vibration and it's going to eat the bearing up eventually. If you're riding with your trailer loaded or unloaded and it's bouncy, you've got something going on. It could be a tire pressure issue, could be unbalanced tire, could be bearing, but I'm gonna recommend that you check it out or take it somewhere and get that checked out, because it could cost you some money when maybe you just need to balance a tire and you may have to replace one. Once you get that cupping on there, that tire is toast. Trying to get it balanced, if somebody will balance it for you, you're really just spinning your wheels. Pardon the pun. You're likely going to have to replace that, but keep an eye on it, because that cupping, which is very common, can be bearing wear, or it could just be need some tire balance, whether that be internal beads or externals. I'll let you fight over that to whatever you want to do. So let's look at a different scenario. So this tire here is not that old of a tire, but you can see that it's worn. You can look at the wear bar here, see how close it is to the tread. Here in the center, you've got quite a bit. The outside, it's not as much, but depending on tire manufacturer, your tread depth in the center may or may not be deeper. What's going to be hard to pick up on the camera, this tire actually has what they call feathering. So imagine how a bird's feathers go together. Eventually, if this tire would have stayed on the trailer, if the customer didn't go ahead and address it, it would have some feathering. It's basically like the tread is sticking up, and as it gets worse, you'll see it. It will honestly look, if you're looking straight on, it will look like feathers. It does have some, it is shorter in other places, You can see it has a screw in it, has a lot going on, but this has feathering. What feathering is caused by is an axle that's out of aligned or a bent axle. And many times that's what we see. Somebody will bring in a tire where the tire should be, if you're looking straight on, it should be like that, and it's just a little turn, not much. I mean, it may be ½ inch, sometimes it's severe. This one was not turned much, so it would look like, hey, my axle is out of line, but if it's truly out of alignment, the axle on the other side will be doing the same thing. So they both have to go. So if this tire is leaned out, the opposite side, the left-hand side, is going to be leaned in. The issue with this is a torsion axle. This was involved in an accident. It did take a strike on the front axle, took the brunt of it, and actually caused the torsion arm to bend slightly. You can see the damage from where the wheel was hit. It didn't bend it much, but it bent it enough to ruin the axle. Had to do a full axle replacement and cause that feathering. So feathering is either an axle that's out of aligned. So if you do have an adjustable axle, and that's usually on your larger trailers, hutch suspension, that kind of stuff. If you have a smaller trailer with spring suspension, torsion, any of that, many times it can't be realigned. There's a couple of things that can move it a little bit. I'm gonna go grab those now just to show you something to look for in case it can be realigned, but lots of times it is a bent axle, especially on the torsion from a curb strike or something like that. It will just bend it out just enough and it will start that feathering, and the farther you go, the longer you go, the more miles, it's gonna become severe and you're gonna start losing some tread off of it. If you're like me, when you get ready to do that project around the house or maybe out in the garage or the shop, the first thing you're gonna do is go get on your computer, your laptop, your tablet, your phone, whatever it may be, and start looking up stuff to buy. Then you're gonna get your debit card or your credit card out and buy stuff. It's like going camping. The funnest part about going camping is buying all the stuff to go camping. But when it comes to sourcing trailer parts, sometimes it's not so fun. So that's where today's video sponsor comes in, eTrailer. Make your experience good if you're gonna start upgrading your trailer or if you're just doing standard maintenance. They have a ton of parts, they have a great website, they cover everything from utility trailers, cargo trailers, even some horse trailer stuff, marine, lots of other things. They also have automotive accessories. Another thing they have on their website is they have some tips, they have some helps. You can even do a live chat if you're not sure what you need. Their description of their parts on their website is something I really like. It gives you a good breakdown. Maybe you're unsure of exactly what you need. You can check that out, get a good description, make sure you order the right stuff so you don't have to do a return, and you can have an enjoyable time either upgrading your trailer, or if you have to repair it, you're probably already in a bad mood, so make sure you can get your parts, get the right parts in a timely manner, get your repair done so you can get back on the road. Be sure to check out eTrailer.com for your trailer parts needs. So a few things that can cause your axle to be out of alignment on really an axle that's not necessarily an adjustable axle are these. This being a torsion axle, if you do have a bracket that's welded onto the frame of the trailer and the torsion axle bolts on here, sometimes what will happen is the bolt that holds the actual torsion axle on will become loose, and it does have a little bit of play. So it can shift back, the bolt can fall out, and the axle will move inside of this cutout here and cause the axle to be out of line. The other thing that we see quite a bit, usually on cattle trailers, because they're usually ran in a little rougher environment, many times those trailers are loaded to the max, we'll actually see this bracket fail right here. It will crack all the way through, and then the axle will still be bolted. So if you're just doing a visual, it's hard to tell sometimes until it completely fails. This will break loose and it will cause your axle to walk back and forth. Many times it will go towards the back whenever you brake, it will get stuck there, and it will look like your axle is out of alignment, because it is. The fix for that is having a new bracket reinstalled. And even on the axles that are completely welded to the frame, sometimes the weld will fail as on there and it will cause the axle to be out of alignment. So with that scenario, you can realign the axle. Something else that happens, and this happens over time really in rough roads, especially on our 6 and 7K axles that are maybe in construction environments or in lease roads and stuff like that. The spring seat that is welded to the axle, when you see it on the pin, you do have a little bit of adjustment. So you can imagine if you have that one all the way to the front, then the opposite side all the way to the back, when you tighten your U-bolts down, you can be a little bit out of alignment. You're allowed 1/4 of an inch is what's acceptable from left to right, because that's really only 1/8 one way or the other. 1/4 inch one way or the other usually will not cause any tire wear. You can't notice once you get beyond that. And what will happen over time, the U-bolt will get loose and it will just waller, as what we say down here in the South. It will waller this hole out, and the axle will actually shift back or shift to the front, and it will cause the axle to be out of alignment. At that point, the axle will need to be removed, and you will need to have a new spring seat installed and possibly a new spring. So that is a few things for a non-adjustable axle that really you can't do an alignment on. It can wear, and it needs some service, it needs some maintenance, repair, and then you can do an alignment at that point. We do have a video on how to check your alignment with a plumb bob using the old school method. I know some people commented on that and wanted it way more complicated, but it's really not that complicated. If you have a long tape, a couple of plumb bobs, and a good Sharpie, you can get it really, really close. So this is stuff you need to check whether you have a torsion spring axle. These are hardware bolts, U-bolts, stuff like that. They need to be checked at least annually to make sure they haven't come loose, make sure they're not worn out and need to be replaced, because some of these parts are way cheaper than buying tires. Tires are expensive if you buy a good tire, and we recommend buying good tires or what fits your budget, so it can be expensive. So I don't have a good example of this type of wear. I'm going to show you where to look for it though. It is becoming a little more common than it used to be, and it's really caused by cambered axles. Not that there's anything wrong with cambered axles. Most of the trailers that we see today on the road that were built maybe within the last 5 years are cambered. That means if you were to look underneath the trailer, the axle beam is going to be bent up in the center, and it causes the tire to actually lean out. The purpose of that is basically like a preload. So when you go to load that trailer, it's going to bring it in closer to straight up and down and not lean it in all the way. Really the only problem we see with cambered axles, maybe you buy a small utility trailer that has a cambered axle that can say haul 1,500 pounds or maybe even 2,000 pounds, but you're not hauling hardly anything on it. Maybe you're hauling a lightweight golf cart, maybe you're hauling small four-wheeler, lawnmower, riding lawnmower, something like that, and that axle stays cambered. It stays like this, and it will actually cause tire wear here. So if you were to look here, this would be smooth. It would look similar to this in here. This would be smooth. Everything else would look somewhat normal, but the uneven air would be, the uneven wear, excuse me, will be on this outside, and that is from the axle not leaning in. Really the only fix for that is you may need to go with a straight beam axle. If it's not wearing a lot, just keep an eye on it. But if it continues to wear down, you could have some tire separation on that. So it's not necessarily an easy fix on there. I hate to tell you to go out and buy a straight axle. The problem with that is maybe you decide to upgrade that lawnmower, or you go from a four-wheeler to side-by-side. You're going to need that cambered axle at that point. So that's just a decision you're going to have to make. Keep an eye on it, but that's really the only time we see that. Now, a couple of very common that we see probably daily, and let me ask you this. How often do you check your tire pressure on your trailer or on your automobile? I know a lot of the automobiles and even some trailers now have TPMS sensors, so we rely on that. But how many honestly take an air gauge and check your air pressure on a regular basis, especially like right now? A week ago, we had wind chills below zero. A day before yesterday, I think we were 82. So with that variable in the weather, you will lose and maybe even gain some air pressure in your tires. And what we see is two wear patterns. You'll see both of these worn out smooth, and the center looks good, looks great. So the center, the tread is good, but the two outside tread have completely worn out. They're smooth as a baby's butt. When that happens, that is due from underinflation. So the outside of the tire is taking most of the weight. It's underinflated. It can cause heating. It can cause tread separation, catastrophic failure, so you need to address that. The other wear pattern we see is the center being as smooth as a baby's butt, and you have tread on this side. If this right here is completely smoothed out, it is overinflated. And believe it or not, we do see some overinflated tires. 9 out of 10 times I would say tires are underinflated, but occasionally we do see some tires that are 20 PSI over what they need to be. Not sure what causes that. Maybe you got a bad air gauge, maybe you got a cheap gauge. Make sure that you have a quality air gauge, whether that's just a manual or if you have the push button style. Check those out. We're going to leave some links to any of the parts that may be beneficial to you here, some tires that are available, any of the tools. We'll leave a link in the description below to each other so you can find those. Make sure that you have the right tools you need, or any replacement parts. You may have this going on and not realize it, or you may have it going on and you need to make that repair. So keep an eye on that. But the tires are going to tell you a story. They're usually either going to be cupped, they're going to be feathered, they're going to have inside or outside wear. You may have a couple things going on, like the other tire. It did have inside wear, but it was also turned this way. We're going to take a look at the tire on this trailer because it's going to have a couple things going on. It has a ruined axle. We're going to talk about what causes that. So let's take a look at this one real quick. So this tire here, the wear pattern is unique. It honestly almost has everything going on. As you can see from looking down the side of the tire, it is leaned in because the axle is bent. If we can pull the camera in here, we may be able to capture some of it. It has feathering. As you can see, those treads, they're like feathers, they're sticking up. It also has cupping. You can see right here has some huge cupping. So it has cupping, feathering, and then it also has inside tire wear. What happened here, this axle did fail due from heavy load, not necessarily overloaded, but heavy load in rough road or off-road conditions. So the tire not only bent in, it's also bent out a little bit. So that's why it has multiple things going on. So if you look at it and say, man, it's got everything going on, more than likely you have a bent axle, and at that point it is going to be an axle replacement. So we have one here that's worn bad. It's going to have this trailer actually has to have 2 new axles, and it's going to need 4 new tires as well. So this is going to be an expensive repair. You know, really nothing you can do about this other than, you know, maybe lightening your load. That may be the only possibility, but sometimes you have to put it right there towards the max. I get it, and you're in a rough road environment, and, you know, honestly, it's just a wear and tear and cost of doing business, unfortunately. So this one kind of has everything going on, but you really need to keep an eye on your tires. Check your tire pressure on a regular basis, just so you're not spending, you know, money for something as simple as putting air in there. And I know air is not free. You got to buy the compressor, or you got to pay a quarter. Is it still a quarter if you go to the service station? I know we don't call them service stations. I call them service stations, but put some air in there. Make sure that you're not over or under inflated. If you have something going on, you know, the trailer may be eating the tire, but, you know, it is usually repairable. But it is like anything else on the trailer. The trailer usually never lies, and it's telling you, hey, I need some attention, I need some maintenance, I need a repair. Let's get me fixed and get me back on the road. Tighten your lug nuts while you're checking everything else in your tire, and we will see you down the road.